Hello, I'm Michael Weaver. I'm a candidate in training for full-time ministry in the Church of Scotland for Word and Sacrament, and I'm partway through the process. I've got a couple more years to go to the end of my probation, at which time ordination will beckon sometime in 2017.
So what attracted you to the role of becoming a Vocations champion?
Well, I'm newly in the process, so I've got a lot of relevant experience on how to approach your own minister, your presbytery, and how you work your way through the process of discernment through to acceptance into the candidacy, if you like. So there's a real breadth of current experience, and I'm excited by my future challenge of becoming a minister, and I'd like to encourage other people to maybe discern their role in the future too.
So tell us about your own experience of calling and that decision to begin the process of training for ministry.
Well, I've actually got a multi-denominational background. I'm clearly English. I wasn't brought up in the Church of Scotland, and in fact didn't arrive in Scotland until 2011. I had considered vocations in church before. I'd lived in France and England and Australia, and I felt a sense of call from God to serve the churches that I were in at the time, and I expressed that through becoming more involved in the churches I was at, through reading and intercessory prayers, getting involved in committees and such. But I always felt God was calling more on my life to serve, and that really crystallised when I moved with my family to Scotland and started going to my local parish church down in Dunbar. And I followed that up with a conversation with my minister, and we talked it through, and I then entered the vocations process. But it was, I guess for me, a bit of a light bulb moment being in Scotland, that this is where God had planned my call all along, although I'd been sensing that call for maybe a whole decade before, but hadn't fully acted on it.
So now that you're pursuing that call, what difference do you hope to make as a Vocations champion taking that role forward?
I really hope to bring to people who I come in contact with, and also ministers, to seek out people how they may want to serve God and the church. And it may not be in the role of full-time ministry. It could be part-time ministry. It could be serving the Lord God in many other different ways. It could be even overseas mission. But also people need to realise serving God and the church can be much more than that. It can be actually getting involved in youth work in your local church. It could be volunteering for the flower rota, or all these things. People may not see that as a vocation or as a call, but it is serving the wider church. And so if I can excite people into exploring where God is making a call on their lives, that's what I really want to achieve.